Hi everybody, it's Shaw Marie. I'm going to do a tutorial today putting together the necklace from my kit. This kit will be sold in my Etsy shop, WildfireJewelryStore. The kit will come with everything to put together this necklace. It has this cute little gold flowered check glass bead and these little check glass heart beads. It'll have all your chain. The only thing it won't have, it will not have these little yellowish beads. It will have these ones, because when I made this as my prototype, if you want to call it, I was just messing around trying to come up with something. These beads are what I used, and I don't have any more of them, but I thought these ones went well with it, so I did have plenty of those to put together for making kits. So the kit I'm going to put together today, this one here, has the components you will receive in the box. So I'm going to move that aside. This is the kit form. And kit for the heart one in copper. And this is a second option. Same necklace, done the exact same way, with copper and the check glass heart bead instead. So that will also be in the Etsy shop. So let's get together putting this together, and I'll show you how it's done, so that if you would like to purchase one of the kits, you can refer back to this video as to how to put it together, and hopefully all the instructions will be totally understandable for you. And I'm sorry about the noise. I live on a dirt road and people drive like mad. So we're just going to put the wire through the leaf bead, and they do have a certain direction to them, like this one kind of curves this way, or you can turn it so it curves that way. It doesn't make a bit of difference which way you go. Some can go one, some can go the other. I mean, if you really want to make sure everything is going in one direction, that's totally up to you, but you don't have to. I think both of mine, I put them in various directions, and I think they turned out just fine. So we're just going to bend the wire. You're going to have one shorter than the other, and your wire is plenty long enough, so don't worry about how much you've got. You're going to have way more than enough. So you're just going to keep bending the wire across each other until you have what looks like this. And then you want to hold on to it. Take a pair of pliers of some sort, or your fingers or fingernail or something. Just get in there and grab that wire and stand it straight so it's going straight out from the top of your leaf. And then come in with anything you can get in here to hold it with. I'm going to use my round nose because they're small and I can get in there. I don't have tweezer nose, but if you do, that would work fine, or any small tipped ones that you can get in there with. And then you're just going to give it a couple of wire wraps. It doesn't have to be super pretty, because you're going to put a bead. Well, actually, I mean, yeah, you can make it look really pretty if you want. I kind of like the messy look, but you do you. And some people don't want it to have that messy look. They want that nice, neat, and that's fine. So when we have this, can you see? Hopefully, no, the lighting's not the best. It's starting to head on towards sundown here, and as you can see, there's going to be quite a bit of wire. I mean, I've got more than I'm going to need. At this point, we're just going to take and push our red bead down on it. Put your pliers onto it. I prefer my round nose, but I just need something to give me a little space for wrapping. I like the tip of my round nose because it gives me just about enough. Then bringing it round nose into the top of that bend, up and over, rotate and around, so you're coming out the side, so you have something that looks like this. And then at this point, you're going to take this piece, and all your chain will be pre-cut for your pieces. Your chain for your necklace part, your backing, will not. It's plenty long enough. You can make it however long you want, but it's not cut for you. These 3 little pieces for the front, however, are. So you're just going to snap it in. Let your chain come down. Grab it with some pliers to hold it. Take this wire and, again, pretty wraps or messy wraps, totally up to you. I'm just going to kind of do a messy wrap. And that's what we end up with. I'm going to cut this wire off the back. And there we have our first angle. And you can cut your chains shorter if you find that I've got them cut a little too long for what you want. That is, of course, your preference. I'm going to move the camera just a bit here, so I apologize. I just want you to be able to see what I've got here. Hopefully that's a little better. Alright, so we're going to do 2 more of those leaves. And again, just slide it on. About 1/3 of the way, approximately. Bend them over each other. Stand your long ones straight. Grab onto it and do a wrap around a couple of times. Trim it off. Add another red bead. Use something to give yourself a little bit of a bend. Come into the top on your straight wire, up and over, rotate, continue on around, pick up a piece of chain, snap it into place. I have my door open. It's so hot in here, so I apologize for the traffic noises. We are finally starting to feel like summer here in Maine. It's been a very wet year so far, and the past 2 days, and I believe tomorrow as well, have been in the 80s and will be. I just keep getting that chain tangled up in there. Do not want that. That's not what I'm trying to show you how to do. Do not do what I do. Do as I say, not as I do. That's what I told my kids. So there's 2 pieces of chain, all beaded up, looking pretty. 1 more here. So I'm pretty excited. Tomorrow I get to go watch my 8-year-old granddaughter do her ballet recital. She's been in ballet since she was 4. 3 or 4, maybe 3. She really loves it. She's actually going to be going into gymnastics very soon as well. She's a very ambitious little girl. But she's a good girl. And she actually has been making jewelry, making earrings. I bought her a subscription to 6 months of Dollar Bead Box and her own little tool set in a case. And she makes earrings and she takes them to school and sells them. She's quite the little entrepreneur. She was pretty happy the other day that one of the adults at school bought a pair off of her and paid her $10 for them, and all the money she makes from it is going to pay for her gymnastics classes. She's a really good little girl. She loves her activities, and she loves feeling like a big girl because she gets to help pay for it. Although I'm sure she'd rather reinvest the money into more beads and whatnot, but you know, she's got Grammy to pay for that, so. And I don't mind. I do not mind at all. I'm happy to nurture her natural talents. So there's another one all snapped on. That's number 3. Grammy doesn't spoil her at all. She's my first grandchild. My first granddaughter. I have 3 granddaughters now. But she was my first granddaughter, and I had all boys. I had 4 boys. So, needless to say, Grammy spoils her just a little bit. But, you know what? That's what Grammys are supposed to do, right? Doing my job. Alright, we're going to take our one and only eye pin in here. Open it up. And string on all of our little chain dangles. Maybe. Boy, the Bar Harbor is getting really, really busy now. The tourists, now that school's out, are starting to flock in. And Bar Harbor is getting busy. It's good. I'm glad. Very, very glad. You know, obviously. My job kind of depends on it. But it is starting to pick up. It's starting to feel like summer here. So we're just going to string on one of those pretty little speckled beads. I probably should come over to this side so you can actually see me. String on our flower bead. So we have this, which is our little focal piece. Isn't that pretty? That is so pretty. I love this necklace. I love these little check glass flower beads. And so we're going to do a simple loop on this so we don't need the space. So I'm just going to bend it up like this. Trim this off to about 1/4 of an inch. I know on camera it looks like more, but truly it is not. And take my round nose pliers, get it right flush with the top of it. Give it a little bend, and then I'm going to move down to the tip more and just do these little walking motions until I get it almost all the way around, and then I can just grab the back side of it. And if this is not the way you do them, that's totally okay with me. Do it what way works for you. And actually this one is not working for me at the moment. Can't seem to get the end of that in there. There we go. I just want a nice closure on it because it's going on beading wire, which is thin, and it will slip out. So there's that piece. That's the hard part. Everything else from here on out is pretty simple. We're going to take the piece of beading wire that's in your kit, and it's more than long enough. Try to give it a little bit of a straightening so it's not quite so kinked up, because I did have it rolled up there pretty tight. So on one end we will feed on one of our clamshells from the back so that it's open. One of our little crimp beads, and I know I didn't mention crimpers, but that's because we're not doing the traditional crimp. We're just going to give it a little smush on the wire just to hold our clamshell on. We just don't want our clamshell coming off. Trim that down just a smidge. That's a technical term, smidge. Close that up a bit. So that end's all set, and then we can just bead on. And you're going to bead on 2 of these. In the kits, they will have the gold beads like the one I showed you done. The only thing that will be different will be these yellow beads, but it will have the gold beads in the kits. I already have the kits put together and I didn't want to steal any from it. These are actually the beads that are in the copper necklace with the heart. So you're going to string on 2 of them, 2 of those, proper grammar here. And then we're going to string on, I have to peek, one of these little speckled beads, leaf, another speckled bead. Oops, let me come back over here where you can see me. I follow my beads. If you noticed, as I'm stringing, I follow my line of beads. I've caught myself doing that. I'm trying to stop doing it. And another leaf. So it's starting to look like this. And then we're going to do one of these, which will be the middle bead when you get them. Another red, or a red, I guess not another, we haven't started with them yet. One of these, now another red. So you'll have 4, 1 of each, 2 of each, sorry. And then it's time to string on your pendant piece, and that will twist into shape. That's no worries about that. It'll move itself into place. And then back through in the opposite direction with our same pattern, just going the opposite way. The red, if I can get it on there. And now back to the leaves. Another speckled bead, another leaf, another speckled bead. So this part's so simple. I mean, it's just straight stringing. And then we have 2 more of these to put on. Whoop. Maybe if I don't lose them. My fumble fingers. So as you can see, you got plenty of bead string and wire. You won't need all that you have. I try to make sure everybody has more than they need. So we're going to need another one of the clamshell covers. And for the second one, I like to open it up almost flat so I can get my pliers in there, because you don't have the luxury of moving it out of the way like you do with the first one. And string on your crimp bead. Whoops. This is why I put extras in the box, because, you know, they're tiny and they do like to go flying. Alright, so to keep it having this nice shape without it being, you know, you push it so hard you've got it straight like this, don't do that. Let it just hang naturally. I mean, you want it all up there, you don't want gaps, but you don't want to push on it and make it really tight. So once you get it in to the little bead cap here, and it's hard to see, especially on camera, I'm sure. So I'll try to get it up in there where you can see it. I just like to get a hold of it by the tip of my pliers. Say that, but you know, man speaks, God laughs. Oops. And give it a squish. So it's into place. Trim off your excess beading wire. Close up your cap. You can put glue in if you feel like you need glue. But there is the necklace focal. Isn't that pretty? I think it's really pretty. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. And I think that these beads are actually much, much prettier with it. I'm just kind of glad that I came across these ones, because I do like them with it a lot better. And so after that, all we have to do is string up the chain and put on the clasp. This is the clasp you'll receive. Some jump rings and plenty of chain. Just open up your jump ring with a twist. Put on your pendant piece with the hole in the clamshell, and see if I can catch that chain. And your chain piece. Close that up. Do the same thing on the opposite side. And I'm not going to cut this chain in half and put the toggle on, but you would use your other two jump rings and your toggles to put your closure on the back after you decide how long you want your necklace to be. But I'm not going to do that because I'm going to take this one back apart, put some fresh pieces in it, and put it back in the kits, because I already have one of these necklaces, the one I made that I showed you earlier. So I might as well put it back into the kits. Sometimes I have a little issue with these jump rings. I don't remember where I bought them, but they don't always like to line right up. So clearly I'll have to put new jump rings in anyway, but there is our pretty little necklace. I hope you like it. I'm going to try to get back here and do a tutorial very soon on one of my pieces from the new bargain bead box, and let me see if I can show you how well I can show you it. Hopefully you guys would like to see it made, but this is the one I'm going to make a tutorial for, and I made it so that it's wire wrapped. So these pieces are, this is a solid piece now. It's strung on wire, and then it's wrapped with putting ends on it, and then just made a nice little piece with it. I did make a pair of earrings to go with it, and I'll probably show that in the video as well. I'm trying to work out a plan for a bracelet, but I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with the bracelet yet. So yeah, so that will be coming up pretty soon. It's getting harder to find time right now because summer is my busy season at work, and I'm working a lot of hours, so I'm trying to squeeze in these videos as much as I can. But I do want to get in a video making this necklace, and pretty soon a video showing, you know, my show and tell, as I call it, with all my finished pieces, and I hope to do that really soon. So yeah, keep looking for this one, and it will be coming out in a tutorial soon. I really hope you guys like this one, and again, like I said, it's in my Etsy shop, and the Etsy shop is Wildfire Jewelry Store, all one word, capital W, capital J, capital S, Wildfire Jewelry Store. So both of these kits will be in there. Probably not until Sunday. I don't have time right now because, you know, like I said, I work 6 days a week, and I work 10-hour days right now. It's really hard to find the time. Plus tomorrow, my only day off, I'm going to be going to Rockport to watch my granddaughter do ballet. So I will get them up as soon as I can, and I hope you all are looking forward to seeing them, and we'll tune in when they do come up. I really hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and you know, if you like my tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I really could use your subscriptions. I cleared the 550 mark finally for subscribers, so I was super excited about that, and I thank you all so much. Please drop me a line. I love hearing from you guys. I have to say, you subscribers, and even people who aren't subscribed but just drop me a line, I have had the nicest compliments and comments from people. It blows my mind. When I first started making these videos, I thought, oh my word, everyone's gonna look at these and I'm just gonna get like slammed. People are gonna be like, why are you doing this? It's not your forte. I've had none of that. I have to say, I've had 2 people that have said nothing bad, just, you know, good comments on how I could improve, which I greatly appreciated. I took that right to heart, and I did what they suggested, and I think it did help me improve, and I value that. And everything else has just been wonderful, 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 kind comments, and I thank you all, and I love my subscribers, and I'm so appreciative for all of you. So until next time, bye. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.